Hey everyone, Dr. Mark Supernaut here, Family Healing Chiropractic, South Charlotte. Hope you guys are all having a great and blessed day. Today, I'm going to talk about fatigue and energy problems that you may be suffering from. This is a question we get asked on a regular basis when people come through for the first time. They'll come in, and you can imagine a chiropractic office. You're going to get the people that come in with the neck pain and the back pain. Of course, that's just kind of what we've been known for. But reality is that it's so much bigger than that. We just recently had somebody come through the front doors with POTS syndrome. We've had people come through with cancer, heart disease, a kid with bedwetting issues, a kid with sleep issues, kid with focus issues. So we see different levels of people all the time. When you truly understand what our office stands for and what chiropractic really was designed and built for, it's amazing. It's different thought process than what you've been taught. So today, I want to actually talk about fatigue and energy issues. And so people are coming in more and more with like energy issues on a regular basis. And of course, they're throwing coffee on top of it, energy drinks. Some people are just suffering through it. And so I want to help you guys understand today how the body actually works and what chiropractic means, or why the body's telling you this from an energy standpoint. Some of you guys, I've never had a chance to tell my personal story. And so I want to share with you guys a little bit today, just my personal story, how I got into chiropractic, because I think it's relatable for a lot of people, whether you're having energy issues or neck pain, back pain, or headaches, or sinus problems, allergies, you name it. I think my story is super relatable because it tells you a story about what I struggled from. And so I had really bad asthma and allergies when I was 6, 7 years old. And so, it got so severe at one point in time that I seized up. I remember my mom taking me to the hospital. They injected me something in the arm. They put an oxygen mask on me, and they sent me home with one of those inhalers. And I was super grateful and thankful that I had that medication at the time, because it helped me to breathe. And when you're a kid, you just don't understand. And so, but I was now stuck clearly in the medical industrial complex. This is the 70s going to the 80s. And I was stuck in it, because the more that I started taking my inhaler, the more I started having headaches, because the inhaler would help me with the symptoms of breathing, but it didn't help fix the problem of what was causing it. And on top of it, it threw more chemicals in my body that allowed or had side effects of headaches. So at 12 years old, 13 years old, I started having headaches so bad that my mom took me back to the doctor. Again, medical industrial complex, use the insurance, go to the doctors, take the pharmaceuticals, because I'd been on tons of antibiotics when I was a kid, which was probably part of the issue as well. But what ended up happening then is that I started having headaches. And so they said Tylenol and aspirin. So I started taking Tylenol and aspirin. And the Tylenol and aspirin would help. And sometimes I had to take more just so I could put my football helmet on in middle school. I started taking a lot of Tylenol and aspirin, actually. And I don't even think my mom knew that at the time. And that started eating a hole in my stomach. I started at 17 years old. I started having stomach ulcers so severely that my mom had to take me back to the doctor again. And of course, doctor says, what? You've got this acid reflux. Here, take this reflux medication, this antacid. And so I start taking that, and that throws off my digestive system. So fast forward to when I'm 21 years old, I'm third year pre-med, University of Iowa. A lot of my friends are going down the pharmacy route. Some people are taking the physical therapy route. Some are doing the pharmacy route, all the classes I was taking. And my academic advisor said to me one day, she says, well, why do you want to be a doctor? And I said, well, I want to help people, because I hated how I grew up, and I wish somebody could have helped me. She goes, you should actually go see my chiropractor instead. And I said, well, what does that have to do with my health and my body? I thought that's just neck pain and back pain. And she goes, no. She goes, 99% of chiropractors, 99% of chiropractors work with neck pain and back pain. This is what she told me. She goes, but 1% work with the healing power that God put inside your body. Your body was designed to heal itself, as long as the spine and the nerve system are aligned, and the body can go through its healing process. And I thought this is so huge for academic advisor at University of Iowa to tell me, hey, you should go check out this chiropractic school down the road. And I did. And I got checked up. I got my spine checked. And sure enough, I had major stress and pressure on my nerve system. And so the spine and nerve system, the spine's supposed to be perfectly straight up and down as you look at it straight on, but from the side, it's supposed to have this nice curve in the neck. And so sure enough, when they took my x-rays, I had so much restriction in my spine and my nerve system from all the sports and all the things I'd taken, probably all the medication I'd taken, stress I had throughout my whole life, childhood stress and traumas and all that kind of stuff. And I had this stress in my cervical spine. And he said, listen, he goes, that's the nerve supply that goes to asthma and allergies, headaches, and stomach ulcers. And he says, we've got to free that nerve system up, because if we don't, then the body just can't go through its healing process. This is a whole new concept for me at this time, but I started getting adjusted. Within about 3 months, I'd come completely off all 4 of my medications, and I haven't looked back. I mean, it's this office that you're looking at right now. We've been here for 22 years. We've seen hundreds of thousands of adjustments in this office over and over again, and we see people healing. of different things and different problems. Sometimes people heal from things that they didn't even know they had problems from. A lot of that is what I see is people come in with neck pain or back pain or headaches because they think that's what chiropractors do. We start adjusting them, and it starts to affect their energy. Their fatigue starts to melt away. They start to be able to do the things that they've always wanted to do. Their aches and pains go away, or they're sleeping better. And so, as I talked about last week, the sleep helps you obviously as your body heals and goes through its process. So there's an energy crisis that no one's talking about. 1 in 3 adults report that they're persistent fatigue. They have fatigue on a regular basis. I said this before, energy drinks, caffeine, naps at all-time highs. Full disclosure, I take a 15-minute nap every single day. I love it. It's my chance to reset, and I call it my meditation time. So there's different types of naps, obviously, along the way. It's not because I'm tired. It's because I just need to shut my brain down for a little bit because I've been working so hard for the whole day. Fatigue's become the normal. It's not normal. It's not supposed to happen. It's common, but it's not the new normal, right? And most people stop asking why they're tired, and they just accept the fact that, okay, this is just where I am and this is what's going to happen. So what happens is fatigue is more than just being tired. It's having a brain fog. Had a lady that came in my office yesterday. She's been dealing with brain fog for 5 years, and she's got 2 little kids. And so I feel for her because as a mom, she said there's one game that she used to play with her kids that she hasn't been able to play with for 4 or 5 years because she just hasn't had the energy or the focus to be able to do it. And she wants to. That's one of her goals, is to get back to be able to do that. And I felt like my heart broke for her that she hasn't been able to do this as her kids are little. Brain fog, low motivation, irritability, decreased productivity at home and work. And so less patience with your spouse or kid. If you're fatigued, man, you just don't feel good. And skipping workouts, poor food choices, you start to make worse and worse mistakes along the way, and you just don't feel like you anymore eventually as the fatigue starts to set in. It's not a lack of energy. Your body's been designed to create energy, and fatigue is just a sign that your process is breaking down. So if you're having, I say this all the time, and I get ripped on social media, on TikTok especially. So I love it. I encourage it. You know, I get these guys that come in there that have no likes and no followers, anything, and they say quack and like symptoms are not normal and blah blah blah. And I said, no, symptoms are not normal. But here's what I get killed for: is that symptoms are a sign that something's breaking down. Fatigue is a sign. Headaches are a sign. Neck pain's a sign. That's not your problem. Even cancers and heart disease, those are not your problem. Those are signs that your body's breaking down. So fatigue and lack of energy, these are just signs that there's a process that's breaking down. So if you think about your body like a phone battery, you can charge it and charge it and charge it, but it still keeps draining. And sometimes it's because you did the wrong upgrade or whatever it is, or you did the upgrade or you didn't do the upgrade, or they want you to buy a new phone. Sometimes that's what it is. But really what it is sometimes you might have too many things open on it, and it's just draining. The problem's not the battery itself. It's all the things that you have open that are draining it. And so sometimes it's the phone's not working as efficiently, or that it can, kind of like the battery, right? So kind of like our bodies. If our bodies aren't working efficiently, it has to work harder, obviously, to be able to get the work done that we're trying to. And then that's what makes you tired and have fatigue. So your nerve system is what controls and coordinates this efficiency inside of it. Think of it like the right fuel that you put in your car. If you put the right fuel in, it's going to work with the best efficiency. Well, same thing within the nerve system of the body, the brain and the nerve system. And maybe next week I'll put some more graphs in here, so it's not just boring me talking and you seeing some bullet points. But really how the spine works is that your brain and spinal cord send messages through the spinal cord, and it's all contained within the vertebra of the spine, the bones of your spine. And when the spine's in the right alignment, the nerve system is able to relax, and it's able to do what it needs to do to communicate. Not just the brain sending messages down to the body, but the body's also sending messages back up to the brain as well. So you have this communication and this process and this energy production and the usage that's controlled here. What happens is communication's clear, the body's working efficiently. But when there's disruption in there, now the body has to start to adapt to its environment, and there's wasted energy along the way. This is where fatigue starts to set in, and it's on a microscopic level, but it's also on a macroscopic level as you start to see it start to kick in when the body's just not able to do what it's supposed to do. So the real problem's the adaptation. Stress is always going to be there. There's going to be physical, chemical stress, emotional stress. There's always going to be the stress. We all have stresses in our life. We all have it. Some have more, some have less. Some can deal with it better, some can deal with it less. And so what happens is it's not the stress is the problem. It's the problem is the ability for the body to be able to adapt to that stress That's where the real issue comes in. So when adaptation drops, then efficiency drop. When your body's not able to adapt and change, and so for instance, if it gets hot, my body's got to change. If it gets cold, my body's got to change. If I start running, my body's got to change. So when we have these, or if I eat crappy food, or if I eat food that's from a bad Chinese place, and then my gut starts to go crazy. See, the thing is, the body's constantly adapting to what's going on in its environment. The body starts to work harder, but it gets less output. And then fatigue is the signal. It's the sign. It's the body saying, hey, something's just not working right here. So what chiropractic does, and so I say this to my patients all the time, I'm like, I can't add more energy to your body than what's already there. I can't add more healing to your body than what God put there. But what I can do, but what you can do as a patient is you can do things that will lower the efficiency of that healing that's inside your body, and that will block that as well. And so what our goal is at our office at Family Healing Chiropractic is we want to help your body restore back to the highest level of adaptation and function, so your body can actually do what it's supposed to do the way it's designed to do it. So chiropractic focuses more on improving the nerve system function. See, when we look at the spine and the nerve system, I'm looking for any deviations away from the normals. And when I feel the spine and motion in the spine, and we see fixations, what we call subluxations in chiropractic, or we see with x-rays and scans and the nerve scans that we do, we see that there's stress within the nerve system. We know that your brain is still trying to do what it's supposed to do to heal itself, but it just can't get the messages through. And the messages not only can't get from the brain to the body can't get the messages back to the brain to tell the brain what's right or what's wrong. And so what chiropractic does is it focuses on improving that nerve system function. It helps the body adapt and regulate more effectively. So this kid that came in with bedwetting after his first adjustment went home and he didn't wet the bed for 2 nights. And so I didn't fix his bedwetting, but what we did is we started getting his body's function starting to work and started to adapt, and his body's going to go through the healing process on its own the way it's supposed to. When function improves, energy improves naturally, right? This is about restoring that efficiency and not just covering up symptoms. So now you can go to a chiropractor that will put plenty of heat and ice on you, and you can go to plenty of chiropractors that will put you on a roller table or a distraction table or a decompression table, or put these new lasers or the sound machines on you and all this kind of stuff and make you feel better. But that's not healing the body. That's masking symptoms. We want to get to the core root of what is creating that disruption of how the brain's communicating with your body, your organs, your cells, your tissues, the way it's designed to do. So what research shows, and this is the last slide today, but I want to talk about this for a little bit. There's plenty of research. So people always say, oh, prove it to me. When you say these things, prove it. I'm like, well, there's plenty of research out there. Go look yourself. I'm not going to sit here and hand feed you research, especially the last couple of weeks. I've put tons of research in this stuff. There's plenty of research out there. Go look for it yourself. And so what the research shows clinically, this is huge, is that chiropractic care improves how brain and body communicate. I just talked to you about that. Better communication leads to better coordination performance. So they did a research study in the military, and the military, they found that with adjustments, that reaction times and recovery times, these are actual numbers that you can measure, not just how did you feel, but actual numbers that you could measure and feel. They did this military research project that they found that people became more efficient. Their bodies were able to heal, their energy, their reaction times, all these things were working better. This is why people often report more energy, less fatigue. Energy isn't added, it's just expressed when the system works better. See, I can't add more energy. I can't add more healing to your body. That's not, I can't do those things. What I can do is we can optimize and take care of your body the way that it was designed and teach you. Yes, part of it is putting the right thought process in place, putting the right foods in your body, the right water in your body, detoxing your body. You have to move. Our bodies are designed to move. But most importantly, out of all these things, the thing that coordinates all of this stuff is your ability for your brain and spinal cord to communicate the way that it's supposed to, so it can adapt and coordinate everything that's functioning inside of your body. That's the real goal here of chiropractic, is to make sure that your nerve system, and this is why we see families come in here. Some of the kids have no problems. Some kids have big problems. Mom and dad might have big problems or no problems. It's about taking families and making this part of your healthcare. Taking care of yourself is a big piece of this. It's the regular maintenance before problems happen. That's the way smarter way to do it. But again, our medical industrial complex tries to make you believe that you have a genetic issue, that it's not your fault, it's not your problem. Just wait until the symptoms go away, then let's cover up the symptoms, or to wait until the symptoms show up, then we cover up the symptoms. No, no, no. This is about you taking care of yourself, taking responsibility. Just like your car. If somebody told you, hey, don't worry about your car until symptoms shows up, and then when the symptom shows up, when the oil light comes on or when the check engine light comes on, we'll just take a piece of black tape and put it over top of the dashboard. Well, that doesn't fix your problem. It just ignores the symptoms that the car is trying to tell you. So the reality is that we want to make sure is that that car is working at the best level, and we do regular maintenance on it and make sure that the function of the car is working well so it can last a long time. It really should be more important for us to do that for our lives, for our bodies, and for our families' lives, is to make sure that the nerve system is working, coordinating, and doing exactly what it's supposed to do to adapt to its environment. So that way our bodies can handle the stressors on a better level, and the energy's there, and the body's able to go through the healing that it's supposed to do. You guys have a great and blessed day. If you guys need anything, shoot me an email, check us out on our website, or give us a call, text us, and we'll give you a chat, see what we can do to help you guys out. Have a blessed day.